Hey everyone! So I'm recovering from con flu still. Well, I'm assuming it's con flu. Either that or I picked up some bug on one of the flights that I took recently. And on top of that, I got a stomach bug. So it's been a very interesting week. Kind of pushed back my filming and editing schedule. So apologies that this one is a little bit late, but here I am. Today I wanted to take it easy, and I thought I would show you guys how to make a cute little stuffed animal out of a sock. So let's get started. I have two socks pictured here, but I'm only going to be using one. I originally wanted to just use one in the first place, but I had this other sock that almost matched up, so I had it as a backup just in case I needed extra fabric. And then I didn't need extra fabric, so I'm just using the one. First things first, turn the sock inside out. Lay it flat, heel side up, so that the heel makes this weird flap like this. This is going to be the cat's butt. Draw on the back legs. You can make them as long as you want, but I wouldn't make the crotch area too far away from the butt bump. I'd say maybe about an inch or so away. Then draw the front legs. Again, you can make them as long as you want, and you can actually make the body part as long as you want too. But it might look a little bit ridiculous if it's super duper long. But hey, maybe that's the kind of look you're going for. The only thing is that you want to make sure you leave enough room to cut a head out from this end still. I made my body go about 3 to 4 inches away from the butt bump. Leaving yourself a little bit of a seam allowance, draw the head. You're basically going to come in at an angle to make an ear, then go straight across, and then go back up at an angle for the other ear. You'll probably have more than enough sock under the head, but we'll wait to cut that off until after the head is stuffed, just to make sure we give ourselves enough fabric. Finally, at the toe end, draw a tail. And now sew. It's hard to see, but I did a back stitch for all of these. You can also use a sewing machine for this if you want. For the body piece, leave the crotch area open. For the head, leave the neck open. And for the tail, leave the base open. Cut the pieces out, leaving a bit of a seam allowance. I eyeballed it, but I'd say mine was about 1/4 of an inch, or maybe a little bit smaller. Flip all of the pieces right side out. And now, starting with the body, stuff the pieces. You start with the body because it'll help you determine how much you want to stuff the other pieces. I find it easier to stuff the little legs before completely filling up the body. Sew up the hole. And now you can sort of squish and manipulate the body shape to be the shape that you want. I want the butt to stick up in the air as if it was stretching, so I made sure to fold it like that, kind of at the heel, to make the stuffing move that way. Stuff the tail. For thin pieces like this, you could use some kind of stick. I have a bunch of paintbrushes around me, so I'm using a paintbrush to kind of jam the stuffing in there. Fold the raw ends in, place it on the butt bump, and then sew it in place. Now stuff the head. Use the body to help determine how much you want to stuff the head. When it's as big as you want, cut the excess fabric off. Do a running stitch around the base, and then pull it tight, cinching the end closed. This is optional, but if you want to, and have the fabric for it, you can cut a little oval of fabric to make a little snout. Sew it onto the head, tucking in the raw edges as you go around, leaving the bottom open. Stick a little bit of stuffing in to make it pop a little, and then finish sewing it closed. Now, sew the head onto the body. I like to do some initial rough stitches, I guess, to just sort of make the head stick in place, and then I go around 1 or 2 more times to really make sure it's well connected. And finally, it's time to add the facial features. I went with beaded eyes, but if you want to make this for a baby or if you want to make it for a dog or cat toy or something like that, then I would suggest doing embroidered eyes, or maybe even just drawing them on. Draw dots where you want the eyes. For beaded eyes, you can space them a little bit further apart, because when you're sewing them on, you can kind of pull them tight, which gives the face a little bit more shape, which is what I did. And finally, use some embroidery thread to make the nose. I made a triangle, and then I filled it with horizontal stitches, and then I finished it with a stitch up the middle, which kind of pulled the horizontal stitches down and made it into sort of a heart shape. My camera died as I did this part, so sadly I don't have footage of it. Sorry guys. If you want, you could add a mouth and maybe some whiskers. I just stuck with the eyes and nose. Another cute little thing you could do if you have a lighter color of fabric is to take some blush and sort of dab it on right under the eyes to give little cheeks. I think that looks really cute, but unfortunately I have a darker fabric, so I don't think it would have really stuck out as much if I did it, so I skipped it. But once all the facial features are sewed on, it's done. I hope you guys enjoyed this project. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, all of that good stuff. If you want to follow me on any of my social media, the links to those will be down below. If you have any questions or suggestions for future videos, please leave a comment down below, and I'll see you next week. Thank you so much to my patrons for helping me produce this video. If you like my videos and have learned something from them, please consider supporting me on Patreon to help me continue to make them. It's totally optional. I'll still be making videos either way. It just helps me be able to put out better stuff. A link will be down below, or you can just click up here in the corner.